Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 10th of March 2025 and unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin on the global cryptocurrency market is not looking good at all. And if you look at the prices via CoinMarketCap guys, it is looking like a cryptocurrency bloodbath, and if you look at the market sentiment, it is gone down to extreme fear. Now one of the reasons why this is so bizarre guys is because over the weekend President Donald Trump did actually fulfill one of his promises, and that was connected to Bitcoin strategic reserve. So it is extremely bizarre as to why the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are fallen down. And according to me guys, there is only one explanation. A lot of the Bitcoin whales as well as cryptocurrency whales, they are trying to manipulate the market, and it is only because of that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are falling down. And look guys, so as economic conditions are concerned, things are definitely looking good for United States of America. So what I'll do guys in today's episode, I'll go ahead and explain what the Bitcoin strategic reserve is, and I'll go ahead and touch base on some basic things which a lot of mainstream media are not following. And I'm noticing guys via LinkedIn as well, there is a lot of misleading information circulating regarding strategic Bitcoin reserve, and I cannot stress this enough guys. Make sure you go ahead and look at information from the first source, and rather than looking at mainstream media guys, what you need to do is you need to go to the White House official website and just read through the official documents, and you would be surprised guys. A lot of the information that is circulating in mainstream media as well as LinkedIn is completely different to what the facts are. But in today's episode, we'll definitely take a deep dive into this. And look guys, over the weekend there was a crypto summit as well, and President Donald Trump did actually go and attend that session. Now I have to say it guys, people were anticipating a lot of actions to actually take place, but there was nothing groundbreaking that was announced at that cryptocurrency summit, so we'll definitely go ahead and discuss this. Now there is a very high possibility at the crypto summit guys, a lot of partnerships will be evolving, so definitely keep an eye on that date. Now look guys, President Donald Trump being an advocate of Bitcoin is definitely a game changer, and what has happened is because of this, South Korea's opposing party, which is surprisingly a democratic party, they also suggesting a Bitcoin reserve. And along with that guys, they're also talking about a stablecoin, but this stablecoin will be backed by South Korean currency, that is won. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into this. Now the final news guys is all the way from Spain, and one of the largest banks of Spain, that is BBVA, they are deciding to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum. So really interesting announcement. And one trend guys that I personally observe, particularly in the Middle East, a lot of the banks in United Arab Emirates, they're offering the customers to go ahead and buy a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. As a matter of fact guys, as we cover two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, the first news is precisely that, and this is connected to Emirates NBD Bank. And Emirates NBD Bank guys is definitely one of the biggest players in the Middle East, and they have launched crypto trading through the digital arm, that is LivX app. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into this. Now the second news guys is a really interesting one, and I really am not sure what to make of it at this point of time. And the news essentially is that there is a company called Serenity, and they are launching the world's first biometric secured blockchain card, and they have already gone ahead and launched it as well. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into this. So quite a lot of cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform. Check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, unfortunately, guys, the numbers are absolutely dreadful. The global cryptocurrency market is down to $2.72 trillion. And if you look at the market cap of Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys, things are definitely not looking good. Now, I'm a bit perplexed as to why this thing has happened. Because just one day before the cryptocurrency summit, guys, President Donald Trump did actually make a really massive announcement. And looks like all of the promises have been fulfilled. And this is connected to Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. So in an idealistic world, guys, this should have pumped up the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? Now, the only reason why this thing is not happening is because there's a lot of manipulation going on by Bitcoin whales and early adopters. And that is the only explanation I can come up with, to be completely honest. Now look, the prices of Bitcoin has fallen down miserably, guys. And the price of Bitcoin in particular is down to $82,430. But look, guys, if you look at Bitcoin even from a short-term point of view, I definitely do think that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are heading towards one direction. But look, whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go ahead and do your own research. Now let's take a deep dive into the global cryptocurrency market, guys. Because the global cryptocurrency market is at $2.72 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 3.56%. Now, to be honest, guys, in today's episode, I'm not liking any of the metrics. The total cryptocurrency market volume is high, but the volume of stablecoins is down, and even the 24-hour trading volume is down as well. So I'm really curious to check what these metrics are reflecting on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and that would give us a very good indication as to which direction the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would be heading towards. Now, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, since the last 24 hours, it is at $112.31 billion. But since the last 24 hours, it is up by 121.81%. And because the prices are going down, guys, and because the volume of stablecoins hasn't increased, this unfortunately means one thing, that people are converting a lot of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies onto fiat currencies. And that is definitely not a good indication, isn't it? But look guys, you need to understand that at a geopolitical level, the world is definitely heading towards world peace, but the left-leaning media guys, they want to go out and create unnecessary panic, and they're actually blaming President Donald Trump, and they're actually claiming that because of tariffs, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be going down. This, to be honest guys, is 100% inaccurate, and what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, I did talk about the benefits of tariffs, and how it could actually help the economy of the United States of America. Cause look guys, you need to understand that President Donald Trump has already secured $1.6 trillion worth of investment in artificial intelligence, and along with that guys, even the biggest company from Taiwan that deals in semiconductor, they plan to move the operations in the United States of America. So when you talk about tariffs guys, you also need to factor all of these things, and it is needless to say guys, things are definitely looking good from an economical point of view. And what I'd urge our listeners to do is guys, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, and just few days ago guys, the economic data was out, and things are definitely looking better than what mainstream media is saying. But look guys, because fake news mainstream media is against President Donald Trump, they want to put out a fake narrative, isn't it? And unfortunately, because of that, the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is going down. So these are things you need to be aware of guys, and I wouldn't be surprised a lot of the mainstream media, they are secretly buying a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So definitely keep an eye on those factors as well. Now let's quickly run through the volume of decentralized finance. And unfortunately guys, the volume of decentralized finance is only at $6.94 billion. And DeFi as of today is accounting for 6.18% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the total value locked as of 10th of March 2025 guys, it is down to $91.65 billion. Now look guys, since the last few months, the total value locked has been diminishing at a really rapid pace. And I wouldn't be surprised if the TVL or total value locked goes below the $75 billion mark. Now so far as total value locked is concerned, Lido is still dominating with 19.38 billion locked in this protocol. Now one particular matrix which is really disappointing, that is decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, and today it is down to 24.64%. Now let's quickly run to the volume of decentralized exchanges, and let's look at the top 5 guys. Now because SEC has closed the case against Uniswap, the volume looks like it has pumped up, and it is back to number 1 guys, and its 24-hour volume is $1.51 billion. PancakeSwap is at number 2nd. The volume is below the $1 billion mark. It is at $964.1 million. Radium Gas is at number 3rd, and its volume is below the $500 million mark. It is only at $456.31 million. Aerodrome Gas is at number 4th. Its market cap is $347.38 million. And at number 5th, Gas is Fluid, which has been in the top 5 since the last month or so, and its 24-hour volume is $344.2 million. Now let's quickly run to the volume of stable coins. And as I was saying earlier guys, the volume of stable coins is really disappointing. But look guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is Tuesdays and Wednesdays definitely keep an eye on the volume of stable coins, and that would give us a very good indication as to which direction the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would be heading towards. I'd really like to see the volume of stable coins around the $200 billion mark, and then we can confidently state guys that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be heading towards in a positive direction. But look, all of my price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time, and I cannot stress this enough guys. Whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice. Now if you look at the volume of stable coins guys, Tether USDT is still leading the pack, and its volume is at $86.70 billion. Circle USDC is at $12.09 billion. At number 3rd guys is FDUSD, and its volume is $6.70 billion. Now let's quickly run to the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now Bitcoin's market cap guys is absolutely scary at this point of time, and it is down to $1.63 trillion. The market cap of Bitcoin had crossed the $2 trillion mark, isn't it? But because of a lot of misleading information by mainstream media guys, they are creating a lot of unnecessary panics regarding tariffs, and because of that, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going down. But look guys, as I mentioned earlier, according to me, it is the Bitcoin whales as well as high net worthy individuals. They are just trying to manipulate the market. That is the only explanation I can think of. Now that thing being said guys, Ethereum's market cap is also looking absolutely horrendous. It is down to $253 billion. Now if you look at the 24-hour trading volume guys, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $42.79 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $23.88 billion. Now times like this guys, you don't want to see the dominance increasing, isn't it? But unfortunately, Bitcoin's dominance is at 60.28%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is at 9.40%. Now every day in the blockchain DXB's Crypto and Coffee Date series, guys, I tend to look at one new matrix, and what I want to do, guys, in today's episode, I want to look at the 24-hour volume since the last 24 hours, because the prices have miserably fallen down since the last 24 hours, hasn't it? So the next matrix, guys, is the 24-hour volume since the last 24 hours, and a lot of them will be repetition, because Tether USDT always leads so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned, isn't it? And it is at number 1 with $86.93 billion. Now Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is at number 2nd, guys, and its 24-hour volume is $43.75 billion. Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume, as I mentioned earlier, is at number 3rd, and it is at $23.98 billion. Circle USDC, guys, is at number 4th, and its 24-hour volume is $11.88 billion. Ripple, guys, is at number 5th, and its 24-hour volume is $7.86 billion. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to look at this is because it just gives you an idea as to what is going on in the cryptocurrency world, and what types of tokens or cryptocurrencies are utilized, and what are in the top 5. So let me know, guys, what do you think of these numbers. According to me, guys, these numbers are definitely not surprising. It's going to be really interesting to see if these top 5 remains in the top 5 tomorrow. But in the episode that I release tomorrow, that is 11th of March, I might go and look at a completely new matrix. Now, guys, let's go and look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin is down to $82,430. And since the last 24 hours, guys, it is down by 3.56%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 10.24%. Ethereum, guys, is down to $2,099, and who's to say, guys, if the prices do not pump up, there is a very high possibility that the price of Ethereum will go below the $2,000 mark. And since the last 24 hours, guys, Ethereum or ETH is down by 3.03%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 10.61%. Ripple or XRP is down to $2.18. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 5.12%, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 15.52%. Now look, guys, I'm seeing so many LinkedIn posts that one of the reasons why the prices are going down is because of tariffs that is imposed by President Donald Trump. This, to be honest, guys, is definitely misleading information. What I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to the White House website and just read through the executive actions regarding tariffs, and you would be surprised, guys. A lot of the information that is published by mainstream media is completely different to what the facts are, and unfortunately, because of the fake news created by mainstream media, guys, it is having a negative impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now look, President Donald Trump has always fulfilled all of his promises, and so far as Bitcoin is concerned, guys, President Donald Trump at the Bitcoin Nashville event did actually go ahead and make 3 promises, and looks like all of these promises were kept. The first thing, guys, he did actually state that on day 1 he's going to set Ross Ulbricht completely free, and he already went ahead and did that. He also said, guys, that he will be firing Gary Gensler. That promises have been kept. And the third one, guys, he actually said that under his administration, if he becomes the president, he will go ahead and start something called a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And regarding strategic Bitcoin reserve, guys, President Donald Trump clearly said that under the strategic Bitcoin reserve, existing Bitcoins will not be sold. That's about all. And look, guys, on the 6th of March, promises were made and promises were kept. And President Donald Trump, guys, he did sign executive orders. And the executive order, guys, is actually published on the White House official website. And in the show notes below, you can go and read through the official website. Because look, mainstream media is putting out a completely different narrative. And even in LinkedIn, guys, I'm seeing so many misleading and fake news information. So what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and highlight what the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is. Because look, on 6th of March 2025, guys, executive orders by President Donald Trump from the White House established Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. And along with that, guys, United States will also be having a digital asset stockpile. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me break it down what this executive order is all about. Because in this executive order, guys, it clearly states is that Bitcoin is often called as digital gold, and it also has a fixed supply and strong security, making it a strategic asset for the nation. And the United States of America's government, guys, does hold a significant amount of Bitcoin, but has not yet fully capitalized on it. And regarding the policy in the executive order, guys, it clearly states that the United States of America will create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and the United States digital asset stockpile to manage and secure digital asset holdings, including Bitcoin and other digital assets that are seized from criminal or civil asset forfeiture. And guys, this executive order also details the creation and administration of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And here's the important thing to note, guys. The Treasury Secretary will set up custodial accounts for both reserves, that is the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and the second one is the Crypto Strategic Reserve. And the Treasury Secretary will be managing any seized Bitcoin and other digital assets. Now, regarding Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, guys, the executive order clearly states that Bitcoins in the Strategic Reserve will not be sold and it will be used for government objectives. And regarding the United States digital asset stockpile, guys, it will hold non-Bitcoin digital assets as well, and these will be from forfeiture proceedings, and strategies will be developed for stewardship. And the executive order, guys, also talks about the acquisition of Bitcoin, and the Treasury Secretary and Commerce Secretary will develop strategies to acquire more Bitcoin. And here's the important thing, guys. They will do it without costing taxpayers a single penny as well. But it's really important to note, guys, no additional non-Bitcoin assets will be acquired unless linked to forfeiture proceedings. Now, people are anticipating things to magically work, guys, but if you actually read through the executive orders, it clearly states that within 60 days, the Treasury will provide a legal and investment evaluation of how to manage the reserves, including the accounts and any legislative needs. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, keep a track of 60 days from the 6th of March, and I'm pretty much sure because of that date, the prices of Bitcoin will definitely be impacted. Now, look at the executive order signed by President Donald Trump also has really strong accounting procedures regarding this, and each agency will report on the digital assets in its possession, and those holdings may be transferred to new reserves as well. And there are also general provisions, guys, and the executive order clarifies that it doesn't affect the authority of department or agencies and is subject to law and appropriations. So essentially, guys, look, this particular order sets up a formal system for managing the US government digital assets, and it is focusing on Bitcoin and other seized assets, ensuring that they are strategically secured and used for national interest. Now look, guys, Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is an absolutely brilliant thing, and this is completely different to the Crypto Strategic Reserve or the official motto, that is United States Digital Asset Stockpile. These are fundamental things that you need to be aware about, guys, because look, US Bitcoin Reserve only talks about Bitcoin, whereas the Digital Asset Stockpile, it will be having other cryptocurrencies such as, let's say, Solana, ADA, Ripple, XRP, and quite a lot of other things. Now look, along with Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, guys, over the weekend on the 7th of March, there was a massive event called as Crypto Summit. And again, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Rather than watching fake news mainstream media or LinkedIn post, what I'd really urge you to do is, on the official White House YouTube channel, listen to the summit, which is roughly around 20 minutes long. And President Donald Trump did actually deliver remarks on the White House Digital Asset Summit, and he started the session by talking about the FIFA World Cup that is scheduled to take place in the United States of America. Regarding the Crypto Summit, guys, I just want to go ahead and highlight 3 things. And one of the most important things that was discussed at the Crypto Summit, US banks can now engage in some crypto activities without regulatory permissions, and this makes it so much easier for US financial services industry to jump in. And David Sachs, guys, who's a czar for crypto and AI, did actually inform reporters that taxpayer funds will not be used to acquire digital assets, and that there were existing protections in place to safeguard consumers from crypto investment. Now look, guys, this particular Crypto Summit is definitely a game changer, and I'm pretty much sure, guys, other countries will be following a similar pursuit. As a matter of fact, guys, the next news I'm going to be talking about is regarding South Korea and their plans for Bitcoin Reserve as well as stablecoin. But before that, guys, let me go ahead and highlight one of the key things that did actually take place regarding the Crypto Summit, and this is to do with Michael Saylor. And Michael Saylor, guys, he actually suggested that the United States of America should acquire 5 to 20% of the total supply of Bitcoin, and he's suggesting the government to do it in a matter of 10 years, that is by 2035. And according to him, guys, if the US government does it, the US government will be able to generate somewhere between $16 to $81 trillion by 2045. Now, will that thing happen? I really am not sure, because look, the numbers are absolutely wild. But look, guys, in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world, absolutely anything is possible, isn't it? So let's see what the outcome to this is. Now, guys, let's go to discuss some interesting news all the way from South Korea. And what happened, guys, is that the South Korean Forum, which was hosted at the National Assembly by South Korea's main opposition party, which is the Democratic Party, they did actually have an in-depth discussion regarding the need for South Korea to go ahead and consider Bitcoin as part of the National Reserve. And this is because of inspiration that they have taken from President Donald Trump. And along with Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, guys, South Korea is also discussing a won-backed stablecoin. And there's a really interesting article that is published by Korea Herald, guys. And the Democratic Party is actually warning that if the United States of America is establishing a Bitcoin reserve, South Korea must respond with a clear policy as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, if South Korea is the next country to go ahead and adopt Bitcoin as a reserve. Now regarding stablecoin, guys, they did have an in-depth discussion at the forum, and the article which is in the show notes below by Korea Herald states that without a domestic stablecoin, the country could lose the monetary sovereignty and become too reliant on the US dollar-backed stablecoin. This, to be honest, does make a lot of sense, isn't it? And the forum guys also raised concerns over strict crypto regulations that was driving traders to offshore platforms like Binance. Now look, so far South Korea is concerned, they've been massive advocates of Bitcoin since almost a decade, and in the early days of Bitcoin, guys, there used to be so many meetup events in South Korea, and look, South Korea is definitely taking leaps and bounds in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption, and I wouldn't be surprised the next move by them is to have Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, and along with that they're also working on a stable coin that will not be backed by US dollar, rather be backed by the local currency that is won. So really interesting play in my honest opinion. Now guys, let's go ahead and talk some news from Europe. And Spanish bank that is BBVA, guys, they have received approval from the country's securities regulator to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading services. This, to be honest, guys, is definitely a massive news. And here's the thing, guys, the bank will launch a new service that enables clients to securely buy, sell, and even manage Bitcoin and Ethereum transactions. And all this thing, guys, will be done by the banking app. Now this particular trend, guys, is really unique, cause why use a centralized exchanges? When the bank itself offers you these services, you don't have to do KYC, guys, cause you already are a customer with the bank, isn't it? So really interesting move. And since the last 6 months, guys, I'm noticing quite a lot of banks in Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, they're offering the customers to go ahead and buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. That, to be honest, guys, is definitely great news. But this particular move is definitely a threat to centralized exchanges, isn't it? Now, wouldn't be surprised, guys, if a lot of centralized exchanges are actually partnering up with banks, and because of this partnership, the banks are able to offer the customers to go ahead and buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. A really interesting development that is taking place in the banking industry, which is connected to cryptocurrencies. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what happens to the volume of centralized exchanges. But look, it is really important to understand, guys, when your banks are allowing you to go ahead and buy a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, who's in control of your cryptocurrencies? Is it your bank or is it you individual? These are things you definitely need to be aware of. And there's always a saying, guys, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. So in case if you're buying Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies from your app, guys, make sure you understand the difference between custodial and non-custodial services. So these are some macro level news, guys, on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. Now let's go ahead and look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Now the first news, guys, is surprisingly similar to the one that I talked about regarding Spain. And Dubai's Emirates NBD Bank, guys, they have launched crypto trading through the digital arm. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this. Because Emirates NBD Bank, guys, they have entered the digital asset space by offering crypto services on the LiveX app. And this new offering, guys, was launched in partnership with Aquanow, which is a global virtual asset service provider licensed by VARA, that is Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. And customers now, guys, can go ahead and buy, hold, and even sell cryptocurrencies via the LiveX app. And regarding the cryptocurrency infrastructure, guys, it is operated by Aquanow, and digital asset custody is managed by Zodia Custody. Now regarding LiveX app, guys, they do provide a user-friendly and intuitive platform for managing cryptocurrencies and day-to-day finances. And the app also follows robust security protocols to ensure security transactions for customers. Now look, so far as United Arab Emirates is concerned, it is seeing rapid growth in crypto activity due to favorable regulations and increasing institutional and consumer interest in it. And there was a recent survey, guys, that did actually state that 1 in 10 UAE residents have a really strong appetite for digital currencies. And when you talk about Emiratis, guys, they are showing the most interest in this as well. And between July 2023 and June 2024, guys, the United Arab Emirates received over $30 billion in cryptocurrencies, making it the third largest crypto economy in the MENA region. And Aquanow CEO, that is Phil Sham, guys, emphasized the UAE's emergence as a global crypto hub. And Aquanow and Emirates NBD's partnership showcases how banks and fintech companies can collaborate to benefit retail customers, isn't it? And Emirates NBD's Live Digital Bank is already known for its innovative products, including money ahead deposits and gold accounts. And Live is also offering digital gold investment accounts and cashback cards, providing 1,500 dirhams per month in rewards. And look guys, as I mentioned earlier, Emirates NBD Bank is a leading banking group in the MENA region, and they do have operations in 30 countries as well. And so far as the bank is concerned guys, they serve over 9 million active customers, and they hold total assets of 997 billion dirham, which is around $271 billion. And Emirates NBD Bank guys has 848 branches and 4,601 ATMs. So this bank is absolutely a massive giant, isn't it? And Emirates NBD Bank guys is a key player in global digital banking, with 97% of financial transactions conducted outside of branches. And so far as Equinow is concerned, they were founded in 2018, and they're recognized for their rapid growth and global reach, with a team of over 125 employees with significant transaction volumes. Now look guys, this move by Emirates NBD is definitely a game changer. Now look, so far as blockchain technology is concerned guys, Emirates NBDs have definitely been in the game. And going back to 2017 guys, they were one of the first to actually do a transaction in Ethereum, and they did actually do a sale of a transaction, I believe it was shares, which was from a bank in India, that is ICICI Bank, and they did that using Ethereum blockchain technology. So look guys, when you talk about Emirates NBD Bank, they've definitely been in the Bitcoin blockchain game since a very long time, and it's definitely no surprise and definitely a great thing that they're launching crypto trading services. But look guys, it is really important to understand the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies that you have. Is it a custodial service or is it non-custodial service? And I cannot stress this enough guys, not your keys, not your crypto, or not your Bitcoin. But look, this news is definitely positive news. Now guys, let's go and discuss another interesting news, and I really am not sure what to make of this guys. And this news is more about the world's first biometric secure blockchain card, which has been launched by Serenity. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this, because Serenity guys did actually launch the world's first biometric secure blockchain card in Dubai, and they also had a launch event which is organized by CEO Club Network that did actually take place at St. Regis Dubai, which is at the Palm. And the card guys is called as S-Access, and the S-Access biometric card guys revolutionizes secure data storage, digital identity authentication, and real-world asset monetization. And regarding this event guys, it did actually bring together international business leaders, blockchain pioneers, bankers, as well as investors. Now regarding the biometric card guys, it is called as S-Access, which is S for sugar, A for alpha, X for x-ray, E for elephant, S for sugar, and S for sugar once again. And this particular card is powered by Serenity's patent-pending decentralized data survivability protocol technology. Really interesting name, to be completely honest. And some of the key features of the card include biometric wallet authentication, offering secure access using advanced biometrics, and the card guys provides an ultra-secure digital repository, enabling encrypted storage and recovery of wallet seed phrases, and they're doing that without traditional crypto wallets. Really interesting idea, to be honest. But look guys, I'm definitely not convinced with what I'm reading, and what this news actually states is that non-crypto users can also access the card secure data storage without requiring blockchain expertise. And regarding the card guys, what they're claiming is that they deliver real-world applications such as identity verification, file validation, secure payments, and credential updates as well. And the card guys apparently is intuitive to use, with an ergonomics interface and a setup process that takes under 3 minutes. And the card combines biometrics with blockchain technology to enhance both accessibility and protection for global users. And regarding the launch, they did emphasize Serenity's leadership in blockchain innovation and fintech security. And regarding the card guys, it says the foundation for biometric secure blockchain solutions to become a global standard as per the news. But look guys, me personally, I'm definitely not convinced with this. But regarding the launch guys, the launch marks a major advancement in real-world services, which is a new concept introduced by them. And what they are claiming is that by integrating real-world assets and deepen that is decentralized physical infrastructure networks into the protocol that is decentralized data survivability protocol, S-Access enables seamless monetization of digital assets. I really am not sure what this project is all about, to be completely honest. But look guys, what I'll try to do is, maybe I'll drop them an email and let's see if I can get them on my episode. So these were the news guys on the Bitcoin blockchain, cryptocurrency, and even artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by John who asks, why do you think there's extreme fear in the market right now? And do you think the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up? This is such a really interesting question, John. Now look, I cannot stress this enough, John. The only reason why there's so much of panic in the market is because of fake news that is created by mainstream media. And I've been saying this over and over again. If you actually look at information from first source, read through the executive orders that are signed by President Donald Trump, you truly understand that 90% of the information that is put out by mainstream media is completely fake news. And that is one of the reasons why the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going down. Now look, a lot of them are talking about the negative aspects of tariff. And what I'd really urge you to do is, John, and even for our listeners, go to the White House website, read through the information regarding tariffs. The reason why President Donald Trump is increasing tariffs is because of a lot of illegal immigration taking place in Mexico and Canada, and because of a lot of fentanyl that is being supplied in the United States of America. And if these countries go out and take care of that, there's a very high possibility that tariffs could be reduced. Now, I don't want to talk too much regarding tariffs, but as we know, mainstream media is definitely left-leaning, and they are financed by some extreme left-leaning billionaires, and because of that, they want to go ahead and create unnecessary panic. According to me, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. And earlier, John, in the episode today, I talked about economic reports, which I believe got published on the 5th of this month, that is Wednesday. And what I'd really urge you to do, John, and even for our listeners, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website and just read through the production report. And looks like the US economy is definitely doing a much better job than mainstream media is actually portraying. But look, mainstream media, they definitely want to hammer down the economic policies that are taking place. And because of that, unfortunately, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going down. And as I mentioned earlier, John, these are moments a lot of notorious whales, a lot of high net worthy individuals and multi-billionaires, they want to capitalize on it. And traders in particular, they are eyeing for these opportunities. And because of that, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going down, and that is having a negative impact regarding market sentiment. But look, according to me, there's only one direction in which the price of Bitcoin at least will be heading towards, and historically speaking, John, 18 months or so after the Bitcoin halving is when the price of Bitcoin reaches to a new all-time high. So according to me, there's definitely interesting times ahead. But look, John, whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice, and make sure you go out and do your own research. Now, on a side note, another thing which I definitely want to stress is, under the Joe Biden administration, in the month of March 2024, they added close to 800,000 jobs, and it was only because of a whistleblower we found out that 800,000 jobs were added intentionally, and they did that illegally to show that the economy is doing good. Because last year in March, Joe Biden was still in the race, isn't it? And he wanted to show that the labor market conditions were doing good. So look, what I'd really recommend you to do is, John, and even for our listeners, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. That is the only website to look where the inflation is calculated. And in the month of March 2024, there is minus 800,000 jobs. And the report clearly states that they accidentally added 800,000 jobs. Now, unfortunately, how inflation is calculated is, it is calculated month to month, year in year. And that 800,000 jobs, which was a minus, will be showing minus in this year as well. And mainstream media is going to put out a fake news that because of President Donald Trump, there is a lot of unemployment, which to be honest is 100% fake news. So these are things you need to be aware of, John. So according to me, it is only because of fake news by mainstream media there's temporary panic in the market. Other than that, things are definitely looking good for United States of America. Not just so far as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are concerned, but also when you talk about world peace, looks like President Donald Trump is definitely taking some really strong actions. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the next 3 to 6 months. But as I mentioned earlier, things are definitely looking good for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So definitely a good question. And that's about all, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we are Blockchain DXB podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. We also look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.